Good morning, students. In the previous video, we have learned about force. Today, we are going to study pressure. In class 7, you have learned that strong winds during a storm or a cyclone can blow away even the rooftops. And you also learned that winds and cyclones are caused by the differences in air pressure. Now, is there any relation between the pressure and force? Let us find out. See in the picture, a man is trying to push a nail into a wooden plank by its head. What do you think? Whether he will succeed in that or not? Normally, how do you push a nail into a wooden plank by its head or its pointed end? Yes, normally we hammer at its head and so that the pointed end pierces into the wooden plank, isn't it? So, and other thing, cutting during the cutting of vegetables, you know that the edges of the knife, it should be sharp. It should be sharp. And with a blunt knife, it is difficult to cut the vegetables. Here see the blunt knife and the sharpened one. The area of the edge, the blunt one it is more and the sharpened one it is less. Same way in the nail, the head portion and the pointed portion. Head portion, the area is more and the pointed one area is less. Now, is there any relation between this pressure and area? What is the role of area in both these tasks? See, in case of the knife, when it was sharp, that means the area was less, we found it easy to cut the vegetables. Same way, in case of the nail, the pointed end easily pierces into the wooden plank. Now, what is pressure then? The force acting per unit area of a surface is called pressure. What is pressure? The force acting per unit area of a surface is called pressure. Then how can you find out pressure? Pressure is equal to force upon area on which the force acts. And formula to find out pressure is equal to force upon area. Now from this formula it's clear that the pressure and area, they are in inverse variation. That means as you increase the area, the pressure becomes less, and as you decrease the area, the pressure becomes more. That's what's happening in the case of the knife and also the nail. Is that clear? Then, and another example I can give you. See the picture here. Here a porter is carrying a heavy load on his head. Have you ever noticed, before keeping the heavy load on his head, the porters, they keep a round piece of cloth on their heads. For what it is? When they have to carry heavy loads, by doing this, they increase the area of contact of the load with their head. By keeping the round piece of cloth, the area of contact of their head and the load, it is increased. And so the pressure on their head is reduced and they find it easy to carry the load. Because you know that as area increases, the pressure decreases. Another observation, see, check your school bags. You can see the straps of the school bags, they are broad, not thin. What is the advantage of having the broad straps? Yes, broad straps means area is more, so that the pressure that is exerted on your shoulder, it can be reduced when you keep the books inside the bag. Understood that? And you know that another thing, in dams, the bottom portion, it is broad. That's also you can explain with the same formula. Pressure is equal to force upon area. Is that clear? That portion? Now, next we can study about the pressure exerted by liquids. Not only solids, but also liquids and gases also exert pressure. And you know, in case of the liquids, first we can study about liquids. The pressure exerted by a liquid at the bottom of the container depends upon the height of its liquid column. That means how much pressure is exerted at the bottom of the container. That depends upon the height of the liquid which is taken in the container. See that one activity. See this picture. Activity I will show you afterwards. That video I will show you. Now see this picture. There are two glass tubes. The first glass tube, see the level of the liquid, and the second one, it is more than the first. In both the glass tube, at the end, one rubber balloon, it is attached. When you add liquid to the tube, the balloon starts bulging. See how much it is bulged in the second case. It is more than that of the first, as the liquid column, the height of the liquid column is more in the second case. That means the pressure exerted is more, as the height of the liquid column is more. Clear to you? Now, the second point. A liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. That means when you take a liquid in a container, it exerts pressure on the walls of the container. For that, you see this picture. In a bottle, some liquid is taken, and see, to one side of the bottle there is a hole. To that hole, one glass tube is attached, and to the end of the glass tube, a rubber balloon is connected. When you fill water in the bottle, the rubber balloon starts bulging. It is due to the pressure exerted by the liquid on the walls of the bottle. Now, third point, liquids can exert equal pressure at the same depth. In a bottle, if you take liquid and the pressure exerted by the liquid, it will be the same at equal depth. If depth is the same, the pressure exerted also is the same. This picture shows you that. Is that clear to you? Now, and this we can prove it, we can show with the help of one activity. See here, there is one glass tube. To one end of the glass tube, a balloon is attached. To that glass tube, some liquid is added. As you add liquid to the glass tube, you can see the balloon bulges out, which shows the pressure exerted by the liquid at the bottom. See the second one. What's it? Liquid exert pressure on the walls of the container. One bottle taken, a hole is made at one of its sides, and a glass tube attached to the hole, and a rubber balloon also attached to one end of the glass tube. When you add liquid in the bottle, see, due to the pressure exerted on the wall, the balloon bulges out. This shows that liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Is that clear? The third one, the pressure exerted by liquid at equal depth remains the same. Equal pressure at equal depth. Same way, one bottle, some holes are made at the same depth, and adding liquid to the bottle. See, with the same pressure, the liquid comes out of the bottle. From this is clear that liquid exert equal pressure at equal depth. I think the video is clear to you. And now the next one, see, pressure exerted by liquid increases with depth of the liquid column. That means as the depth of the liquid column increases, the pressure exerted by liquid also increases. So let me show you another activity to show that.
Of how pressure increases as you go deeper and deeper into a fluid. The pressure inside of a fluid is equal to the pressure on the surface plus the density of the fluid, rho, times g, the acceleration of gravity, times the height or the depth into which you're in the fluid. Here at the top, the pressure at the surface of the top of this fluid is atmospheric pressure, 14.7 pounds per square inch. And as you go deeper and deeper, the pressure increases according to the formula that I just described. As you go down to 10 meters of depth, you get another atmospheric pressure added onto the atmospheric pressure you had at the surface. So you go from 1 atmospheric pressure here, go down 10 meters, you get 2 atmospheres, go another 10 meters down, you get 3 atmospheres of pressure, etc. So to demonstrate the different pressures at the different depths in this fluid, I have, I'll pull these stoppers out. The deeper we go, the higher the pressure and the faster the velocity will come out. Okay, so we're losing fluid, but I think you can see that always the deepest one had the highest velocity and the highest pressure. This is a demonstration.
Here, what you have seen is the pressure exerted by the liquid increases with depth of the liquid column. That means at different depth, the pressure exerted will be different, and if the height of the liquid column, if it is more, or the depth if it is more, the pressure exerted also will be more. I think it's clear to you. Now, we have learned about pressure exerted by liquids. Now, do gases also exert pressure? Or do they also exert pressure on the walls of the container? Let us find out. When we inflate a balloon by closing its mouth, isn't it? Why do we close the mouth while inflating the balloon? Would you be able to inflate a balloon with holes? Otherwise, what happens to the air in the bicycle tube when it has a puncture? You know that definitely if there is a hole in a balloon or if there is puncture in a bicycle tube, the air escapes out from these holes, isn't it? And so that is, we find that gases do exert pressure on the walls of the container. Like solids and liquids, gases also exert pressure. Is that clear to you? Now, next we can study about atmospheric pressure. What is meant by atmosphere? First of all, we can see. You know that there is air all around us. This envelope of air is known as the atmosphere. That is, the air that surrounds us, the envelope of air that surrounds us is called as atmosphere. And the pressure exerted by this layer of air or this envelope of air on us, it is called as the atmospheric pressure. Not only on us, on all the objects, the pressure is exerted. So what is atmospheric pressure? The pressure exerted by this envelope of air, or other ways we can say the pressure exerted by the atmosphere. It is called as atmospheric pressure. Is that clear to you? To understand how much large this atmospheric pressure is, we can listen to one or we can see one activity here. Okay, now see that a glass of water and a picture card. See what is doing. Picture card is kept on the mouth of the glass tube and it is kept upside down. And he removed his hand. So we can see the water is not spilling out or even the card is not falling. Is that clear? What's the reason? The pressure exerted on the cardboard. So here in the above activity we have seen the water has not spilled out or that cardboard has not fallen down. The reason is that an atmospheric pressure, a pressure exerts on the cardboard in upward direction. Is that clear? Now, listen to this picture here. Here, what is it? It's a rubber sucker. And you know, it looks like a small rubber cup, isn't it? When you press the sucker, most of the air between its cup and the surface escapes out. isn't it? And the sucker sticks to the surface because the pressure of atmosphere acts on it. So you must have experienced, right? When you press the sucker on a surface, then afterwards you find it difficult to pull it out or pull it off. What's the reason? The reason is that when you press the sucker, most of the air between its cup and the surface escapes out, and the sucker sticks to the surface due to the pressure of the atmosphere. And to pull the sucker off the surface, what you have to do? The force which is exerted, that should be large enough to overcome the atmospheric pressure. Is that clear? And this activity also gives you an idea about the magnitude of atmospheric pressure. Is that clear? Now, even though the large amount of atmospheric pressure acts on us, we are not crushed out, isn't it? What is the reason for that? The reason is that the pressure inside our body, there will be a pressure inside our body, and that pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, and it cancels the pressure from outside. That's why we are not crushed under this weight or under this atmospheric pressure. I think the topic, it is clear to you. What we have learned is in this chapter, pressure. What do you mean by pressure? The formula to find out pressure, isn't it? And characteristics of liquid pressure and pressure exerted by gases. Then what is atmosphere? What do you mean by atmospheric pressure? And some gave reasons questions. Now some questions you note down and find out the answers and write it in your notebook. First one, the shoulder bags are provided with broad straps. What's the reason? The tools meant for cutting and piercing always have sharp edges. Give scientific reason. And atmospheric pressure is so high as 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Why are we not crushed by it? Already I explained the answers. Try to find out and then write it in your notebook. I think the topic is clear to you. Read the textbook well and then learn the answers. Thank you.